Oh, behind the wall. Hey guys, how's it going? Lighty here, and I'm gonna be talking today about my Lake Farmer character I made. So this is a Vaal Power Siphon Deadeye. So what that means is basically just Vaal Power Siphon is this skill right where the fuck there it is, and yeah, it's a Vaal skill, and what it does is it shoots a projectile at everything on the screen, and then it calls it, and it can't miss, and then it hits it. Boop. And then because we are Deadeye, it chains and it bounces back around. So it just kills a lot of shit, and then it one-shot stuff, and yeah. And kablowie. It's so quiet. This is what our tree looks like. So then you got Vaal Pack, you get Ghost Reavers, you leech back, we're CI, you get all the multi, all the good wand nodes. Tree will be in the description below. Specific jewels doesn't really matter. Just get stuff, spell damage. We use a Crown of Eyes, makes our spell damage apply to our attack. So we have the only real uniques we run are Obliteration, and they give implicit spell damage, so it's like 30-ish on each. You know, and then you have some spell damage on Tree. It's not bad. You get spell damage per power charge, and since it is Power Siphon, it does give us power charges and killing shit. So we get 6 in total. So you're always walking around with 6 power charges, so 6 times 4, 24 free spell damage. You get a little bit of spell damage on here also, and some there. It's pretty much it. Rest of the tree is flask nodes, you know, crit, multi, all the good OP shenanigan shit. As far as budget, I don't know, like 10-15C tops probably for like the Lake Farmer version. This is gonna be like a 2-part video, so the part 1 is like 60 to 85. This is just like Lake Farmer. Uniques we run, you just do Obliteration at cost an elk, and then for the next slot you just run a Chiyula. Means you can't be stunned. It doesn't cost a whole lot. If you want, you could also run Valerium Ring. Kind of fucks with your res a little bit, but rings are really cheap in general. Most of our gear is rare. You don't have to run Shadows and Dust. It's just for the it's just nice. But yeah, the good thing about running Valerium is it frees up our next slot, and you can use this beauty, which is Bisco's Collar. This gives a bunch of quant and rarity for magic things and normal things. So when you're farming Lake, pretty much what we focus on is magic and normal mobs. We skip rares, although a lot of rares die as a byproduct. We skip rares, we skip full. This is not worth it. We clear Lake in like a minute, something like that. Because we're using wands, we actually don't have no movement skill, so we just have to run around. So let's give you a quick little demo of what this kind of looks like. Ice Golem helps our accuracy. We don't really need accuracy. We have 82% chance to hit on Kinetic Blast. Really only need a Kinetic Blast once every, I don't know, fucking maybe twice in the whole instance. So the interaction is we walk around, gonna Kinetic Blast some shit, get Vaal Power Siphon up, then we hit it, and yeah, after we pretty much just push spacebar, which I have a bound to, it's gonna launch everything. So that's Rampage talking. Alright, so we have Vaal Power Siphon up. So we just walk around, gather a bunch of mobs, and push spacebar. Boom, there you go. It's back up, everything fucking cracks, your audio peaks out. So yeah, what's happening there? Obviously you're like, wow, well, how did you one-shot the whole screen? If you didn't know. So Vaal Power Siphon auto-targets everything. It can't miss. It has high weapon scaling damage, which wands really good scaling off of. Obliteration gives us some damage as chaos. We then crit almost guaranteed, which causes a shatter, which procs from Herald of Ice. The explosion then occurs from Obliteration. We have 2 of them, so it's 40% chance to do 25% of their max life, which pretty much one-shots everyone's neighbor. And because we're Deadeye, all of this shit that's projectile based, which is our actual Vaal Power Siphon, will chain. And eventually we get Far Shot. You really only need Normal and Cruel Lab. Everything up past that's just quality of life. If you want, you could run stuff like Chill Corruption and Sack Harvest. It'll make your Vaal Power Siphon up more often. Not needed at all. Like that one, see, we didn't get it like maybe fully. You had to attack once, but it's like a joke otherwise. You know, there's Reflect. So now you can see what that looks like if I hit myself with Reflect. You can kill yourself. You want to have that Zero Flask up, but it's not needed at all, really. You can just kind of walk around and just collect good mobs and then pop Flask and push Spacebar. Spacebar, there's Flask, Spacebar, and I survived. Yeah, it's normally enough leech. The thing is that you have the explosion from Obliteration's chaos damage, and you leech chaos from your Adzirius Flask, so you pretty much, that crunches enough they have to obliteration, you like have to connect blast, you can, but you pretty much just walk around, push spacebar, keep walking, gather mobs up, like hit every other pack, you know. Like I said, if you have Chiller Corruption or Sacrificial Harvest, it'll be even prettier as far as the spacebarring goes. But yeah, it looks really pretty as a build. You know, Rampage Gloves getting Shadow and Dust just makes it even more fucking meme-tastic as far as how much of the screen's cleared at once. It's really a gross amount. But you could push pretty good experience per hour, you know, comparable to Valspark, and then probably at a much cheaper cost, because you really don't need the jewels at all. You just kind of walk around pushing. I have it bound to spacebar. It feels the most comfortable, because then you just have to click the least, you know. And nothing really else special about the build. Crown of Eyes itself costs a little bit. You don't need Crown of Eyes though. If you don't have Crown of Eyes, you're just losing some attack damage. But even then, Crown of Eyes is pretty fucking cheap. It's pretty memey, but it's kind of fun. It's a good like starter Lake Farmer build, considering most of the pieces cost little to fucking nothing. But we'll talk about that in part 2 of the video. I'll have the part 2 out in a couple days when I transition. It's going to be different gear, different subclass. It's a whole different ball game. You can tackle actual content, and you'll have actual damage and stuff like Edziri and Shaper and T15s and all that jazz. So yeah, see you guys later. Melody out.